Oxford United 0, Birmingham City 2. Welcome back to another match reaction. Didn't go today, we couldn't get tickets unfortunately, so we just watched it from home. I was going to do a watch along today, but I am a bit bunged up and everything, and also I was lying in bed and just thinking, do I want to get up and set up this stream, or do I just want to lie here for a bit longer and just enjoy the very nice toasty feeling that I'm feeling right now? So I chose the second option. But yeah, very good performance today. Lots of positives to take. Firstly, I will say that my absolute man of the match goes to John Solis. First start as a Blues player and was absolutely immense. I love the fact that he went around the back just every single time, picking the ball off the centre-backs and moving it round. I think his distribution out to the wide areas was really, really solid, or Solis. And overall, the general passing from the whole game as well was really good today. I just think that we had like a good solid control. There was that first 5 or 10 minutes where Oxford was starting to come towards us and causing us a bit of issues. Down that right-hand side in particular, they were getting down and pulling things back. But then we grew into the game, which is interesting actually, because usually it's the other way around. Usually we start well in those first 5 or 10 minutes, and then we sort of fade and let the other team come in, particularly away from home as well. But I suppose maybe with Oxford being down the bottom of the table, then that's kind of just how it is, really. In terms of some other great performances today, I thought Osman was absolutely excellent. I think he's really good at just breaking on teams. You know, when we've got the ball, it's not necessarily on a counter-attack as well, actually. I think when he's just, you know, he picks it up deep and then sometimes there's a quick sudden spurt of energy. So I like that about him. He's still got a little bit of I don't know, how would I put it, some errors sometimes. You know, when he gets the ball sometimes and he's running, he sometimes either forgets it or he's falling over. I think just because he's so quick, he kind of forgets, like, just to calm down a little bit. But today he was absolutely excellent, you know, bursting with pace, getting on that byline as well. Had a really good chance in the first half where he just got past that defender on the byline and tried to pull it back, and then everyone's just sort of scrambling and shit and everything. So yeah, it was an absolutely brilliant first half. I thought we were really good, very much in control. And we got the goal from it as well, you know, Paik from the free kick, blasted it into the box. It's a bit of a calamity from Oxford, calamity. But yeah, it was well deserved. I like that about Paik as well. I've been a bit critical about his passing and distribution lately. Well, actually just this season as a whole. I think I'm right to say that. But that cross for the goal, you know, was absolutely perfect for that, because it just caused them to have like a bit of a crisis at the back. And it flies in off the defender, you know, the keeper sort of palms it out and everything. We just sort of limited them, really. We didn't allow them to have much afterwards. And yeah, just really that first half. There wasn't too much to it, I don't think, in that first half. It was like we limited Oxford, really, in the end. And some people might look at that and think, oh, it was a bit boring or something. Usually I would, but the fact that we were, you know, looking so good on the ball, like we were really tidy. There was loads of times where we'd get a ball into feet and there's a player coming in and just do like a little flick round the corner and just we're away and we're in space then. So yeah, very pleased with that first half. And then going into the second half, it sort of started in the similar way, actually. Oxford started stronger, and you know, it took us a couple of minutes really just to get our heads back into the game. Thought the bench looked really strong, actually, because I think the lineup was good, actually. I think people were a bit critical that, you know, we're starting Paik, but I still think that was better for the game in the long run, because then we could bring on players, you know, like we could bring on Tommy Doyle, we could bring on Vicente, who did make an appearance in the second half, set up the second goal, Prisk and everybody else, you know. And yeah, after we'd sort of soaked up some of that Oxford press, then we did get the second goal. That was an absolute beautiful goal. Osman going in on that left-hand side, finds Vicente, and then little roll back into the path for Ducksch to fire it into the far bottom corner. He's scored a couple of goals like that now. It reminded me a bit of the goal he had at Cambridge, actually. Just found the far corner. The keeper's too far to his left-hand side. Kai Wagner was good in that goal, actually, the good involvement from that. But yeah, a very solid performance. I'm very pleased with that. I was wondering like how we are going to come up against the team. I had a feeling it would be a bit like the Sheffield Wednesday game, you know, we'd make like hard work of it but still get the results. We got the results, but we played well as well, so I'm pleased with that. I'm happy. So yeah, definitely man of the match is John Solis. Absolutely stand out, easily the best player on the pitch, just commanded everything. Excellence in midfield, picked up everything from the defenders, moved us forward, kept the control, kept the what's the word? I suppose just kept the composure and the confidence in the team throughout the whole game as well. Loads of standout performances, great options from the bench. Fantastic 3 points, you know, it was really good. I suppose if I have to come up with a couple of cons or some improvements, actually, we'll think of it from a more positive standpoint. I think shots on target is still something that we need to work on. There was something in the second half where Jay is clean through, and I don't even know why he didn't think to not shoot. So he tries to square it to Osman, and the defender on the line manages to kick it off him and get a goal kick. Yeah, I don't know about that with Jay. Jay's been a bit up and down lately, and I don't know, he hasn't scored in a very long time actually. Yeah, that shouldn't be in a striker's mind. That he should always be thinking to shoot, and that's kind of his bread and butter really. He's clean through, hits it into the far corner. Blues get a second goal, and then if we got the third, then with Vicente's back heel for Ducksch, I think everybody would be thinking, well, we could really make it amount for the season now. And I'd also say as well, with some of the technique that we use when we try and finish sometimes looks a bit rushed. There was that one in the first half, like I said earlier, with Osman getting in that left-hand side and then pulls it back. Everybody's just like, it's just like juggling almost, but not being very good at it. So we just got to find like some real composure. I feel like there's very little time to think and everything, but when the ball's coming towards you, like even if somebody's just closing you down and everything, it's always laces, never side footing. Ducksch, when he comes to side foot it, he sort of misses it because the ball's a bit bouncy on the turf and everything. Like if he runs at it and then fires his laces through it, then we can easily challenge the goalkeeper with that, and it probably would have been a goal. But I don't know, just some technique sometimes lets us down. Also, as well, actually should just bring this one back up before I do say this. James Beadle look good today. I'm happy with him. I think he does have the ability to be an England goalkeeper in the future. He's still young. Young goalkeepers are always like maturing later, because it's a difficult role, and you see all the best goalkeepers in the world are always like in their early 30s, and Beadle's only just turned 20 or something like that. So I think he did well today. The only one thing I would say about him that I think does need to be addressed, because of some of the other things that I've addressed in like his performances lately, I think he's started to work on now. Like he's coming for the ball and getting it. I think he's there was a couple of chances today actually where Oxford put the ball into the box. He comes straight out and wins the catch there. And also there was a cross as well. He comes diving out and comes and wins the ball. I thought that's really good. That is, I like that. The only thing that I do think he does need to improve on, which I don't think is necessarily his fault entirely, is when the ball's with him at the back, when we're sort of moving it round. God, he's slow. He's so slow. It's like there's a striker steaming in, because he's thinking, God, even if I don't get it, at least I'm going to make him feel a bit pressured and everything. And he kicks it, and obviously he misses the striker, but I don't like that, So he just needs to speed it up a little bit. But I suppose it's not necessarily his fault, He's like sometimes the centre-backs are a bit slow to, give him an option and everything. I thought also, though, Neumann, Clara, very good. Nice to see Asai Samuel back as well. I do also think, though, like in terms of the way that we are a bit sloppy sometimes, like it didn't matter today, but it might do against teams like Leicester and West Brom who we've got coming up, So like we just need to be a bit more switched on. That being said, there's always a counter argument thing, but I think that's interesting to point out actually, because we in today, obviously, like I think I was confident we were going to win anyway. Whenever we dip, like in terms of the game, like whenever we start to see the other team start to come back into it, we don't really command it that well. I don't think it was kind of like against Stoke, like if we need to absorb some pressure, it looks like we're going to concede. It doesn't look like we're just absorbing pressure, if that makes sense. But with today against Oxford, it was like, oh, don't worry about it. They're not going to score. They were pretty poor in front of goal. But with teams like Stoke, like we did on like in the last home game, it was like every time we were absorbing a bit of pressure, it looks like we're going to concede, which is a bit nervy sometimes, particularly when Beadle's like playing it around really slowly at the back, like I said. But yeah, I think that's kind of it really. The last few things I've jotted down really is like we take too long when creating attacks, and we also still create very little. We did more towards the end of the game, because I think after that second goal, everyone was like, yeah, game over. I still think though, like the attack and creating chances is the only thing at the moment that is really keeping us back, because we move the ball well, really. I think we're starting to get that now, and people like John Solis in the team are really going to nail that home as well for us. But I just think that we don't look threatening enough still, which is, I don't know, because me, obviously, we're all watching it downstairs, and my dad and my brother, being the fickle Blues fans that they are all going, oh yeah, we're going to make sixth now and everything. And I've had this point for a while now, but I want to be more positive about it. I really do, because I fucking hate the Championship and I want to be back in the Premier League. But obviously, I've got to be sort of realistic about it, and I'm too realistic, which sometimes comes across as a bit negative. But even still, like we beat Oxford today. Fantastic results, really good performance. But we play Stoke on the other hand, and we played well. I think we kind of did throw the extra 2 points away. But it's those games that I just can't see us winning enough. I think we can win the odd few, and I think Leicester and West Brom will be a really good boost for us to think that maybe we could get it, because we absolutely should beat them. Leicester, I was watching the game earlier from Leicester and Charlton. Fuck me, honestly, they are rubbish, and they haven't even lost some of their decent players as well since we last played them. They're just in an absolute shambles as a club, so we should definitely beat them. So I think we'll beat both Leicester and West Brom, because they lost again today. Easily could have gone into the bottom three had Blackburn won. Of course, Lewis Kumas gets the goal goal as well. I think that will help, in terms of the boosting for the season. It's just if we can win enough games to get us into in and around the playoffs. I think we will, we're 5 points off from 6th at the moment. And I think we'll have a much better end to the season. I think we always do anyway. But I think we can really push towards the top again, which is something I wasn't too sure about towards the start of the month. I mean, like, comparing where we were at the start of the month to the end of the month, it's like, well done. We've done well to bring this back for this month. The only problem is I think we're still lacking a little bit. I still think we're lacking. I can't say that word. I don't think we've got enough going forward in games to win enough games to put us in 6th place. I think that's kind of where I'm just going to finish that point off, really, because I can see other teams doing it before us. And I mean, like, you look at like Preston and Hull. Hull are 3rd, honestly, and they're not even that special, to be honest. They've just got results, really, and that's the most important thing for them. And that's what I can't see us doing, getting enough results. So I'm not being, I promise you, right, this is not me being negative just at the end of it, saying like, oh, look at us and everything. I just think that, like, in terms of like the other teams in the Championship, they could obviously prove me wrong. But if we beat Leicester and West Brom, that's a great start. And if we can start to beat some of the other teams that are above us and in those places, then we've really got a chance. We've just got to do it now, because we haven't seen it throughout the whole of the season just yet. You look at Stoke, we didn't beat them. We didn't beat Leicester away. We didn't beat Middlesbrough. We didn't beat Southampton away or at home. So it's those results, and not being negative, promise I'm not being negative. It's those results we need to win now. Great results today. Really good, solid performance. Made me feel really, just happy to watch the game, actually. I was really just enjoying sitting back and thinking, yeah, this is great. I'm really enjoying this. It's just we've got to win those games now. Like, I think we've got, like, actually, I do need to bring up the table. I need to remind myself of who we've got in the next few weeks. Yeah, we've got Leicester, we've got West Brom, then we're away at Norwich. We should be winning that game. Millwall, a big task that is. Middlesbrough, Charlton. I mean, in reality, we could win a lot of those games. It's whether we do. I don't know. Anyway, I won't go on that for too long. Wrapping up points from today. John Solis, man of the match by an absolute country mile. Ibrahim Osman, very good, very quick. I'm loving his forward-thinking attitude that he's got from just like get the ball and just sprint at players. Vicente coming in, getting his assist. Marvin Ducksch getting his goal. I mean, he's cracking them up now, I tell you. What's that, 7 goals in all competitions now? He's getting there for us now, I tell you. It's good. We've still got players to come back as well. Like I said, Asai Samuel's come back today. Damari Grace coming back soon as well. Ethan Laird as well, completely forgot about him, but he could be great for us. We need that right back role sorted. I think Iwata is ready to sort of come back and challenge for that midfield spot now, because he won't want to lose that out for Solis after being, playing in the team for so long. Although he did go off today, so we probably will see Asai Samuel play on the weekend. Yeah, a really, really solid performance. Really happy with that. I think Chris Davies was must be really proud of his players today. So yeah, it was a bit weird not going to the games, but I thought I'd do this match reaction because there was a few who were messaging me on social media saying, come on, do us a match reaction. I thought, hey, go on, I'll do that. But yeah, we'll be back on Saturday for the Leicester game, and they said West Brom, ready for a 3:01 kickoff. But yeah, very positive performance. Loving that. I'm loving so much from the game today. And there's that little bit of me inside now that's just going, come on, like, could you imagine if we just pull off the unbelievable now? It is possible, though, because of how razor thin the league is. So yeah, thank you for watching. The vlog will be back next week, and keep right on.
This video is proudly supported by RM Risk Management, providing a comprehensive range of services tailored to UK property managers. Visit rmriskmanagement.co.uk to ensure a secure tomorrow. This video is brought to you by Glow Creations. Capture, create and illuminate with Glow Creations. Transforming coaches into speakers and leaders, and studio space for cinematic video, professional photography and broadcast quality podcasts. Visit glowcreations.io and go with Glow.